So today we are going to be doing some few mathematics, and the question here before us is find the minimum and maximum of a curve y which is equal to x into x squared minus 27 and the point at which this occurs, right? So this is very straightforward and you will see it in most questions, in your JAM question or your IGMB question or your essay mathematics or whatever you have. So what are the things you need to consider when solving this, right? So you need to understand what is a curve, which we have, what is the minimum point and what is the maximum point, what is a turning point and what is a stationary point, right? So solving this, we'll first of all get dy dx, and if we equate that dy dx to be 0, we are going to get the stationary point. So first of all, what we're going to be looking for is what we call the turning point or stationary point. Now this equation, our y, we can decide to rewrite y as what? X cubed minus 27x, right? When we open this bracket, now we can now get the y upon the x. Changing y upon changing x, this will give us 3x squared minus 27. Fantastic. So at this turning point or stationary point, dy dx is 0. So at turning point or stationary point, stationary or turning point, turning point, this dy dx will be equal to 0. So what are we going to do? We equate it to 0. So we have dy upon dx equal to 0. So therefore, we have 3x squared minus 27 is equal to 0. Now if you do this properly, this to go to the other side, you have 3x squared minus 27 should be equal to 27 if this 27 should move over the inequality sign. Now this is great, right? So what we have now is that we can now say that with the variable side by 3, we are going to get x squared is equal to 27 divided by 3, right? So if we divide both sides by 3, so definitely, therefore, we're going to get x squared is equal to 9. So we can take the square root of both sides. So we'll have plus or minus square root of 3. So therefore, our x should be equal to 3 or minus 3. So x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 3. So if that is the case, we have gotten the stationary point, right? Now, what you have to do is to get the square y upon the x squared. That is, you differentiate it again. At that point, if you evaluate the stationary point and it is greater than 0, then that is called the minimum point. If we evaluate and we get less than 0, it is now called the what? The maximum point. So how are we going to do that? Right? So let's evaluate the square x upon the x squared. Now you know that we already have dy upon dx, which was 3x squared minus 27. So we are differentiating again the square y upon the x squared should be what? 6x, right? 6x, this is a constant, so it's 0, right? So that is that about that. Fantastic. So you evaluate the function at this point. So first of all, we have the first one, which was 3. So divide the x at 3. So the square y, the x squared at 3, if we evaluate it at the point 3, we have 6 into 3, right? This is giving us 18. Technically, this is greater than 0. 18 is greater than 0. So this point will be called the minimum point, right? So this is the minimum point. Fantastic. This is the minimum point. Now subsequently we do that for the second point. The second point we have 6 into minus 3, the second point, and this is going to give us minus 18. So at x is equal to minus 3, we have the what? The maximum point, right? So that is what we have over there. So you need to now evaluate the y, because the question is, right, the question is simple: find the maximum and minimum point, which you have gotten, and the point at which this occurs. So this is our function x cube minus 27x. So we evaluate it at 3 and minus 3. So we'll get the point at which those variables occur. So right, so y at x is equal to 3. So we have what do we have? We have 3 raised to the power 3 minus 27 into what? Into 3 for the first one. So we'll have 27 minus 81. This should give us minus 54. Similarly, at x is equal to minus 3, we have minus 3 cube, right, minus 27 into minus 3. So you be careful about the sign. So here minus minus should give us positive. So we're going to get minus 27 plus 81. So this should give us 54, right? Fantastic. So we have all these points. So we have 3 comma minus 54, right? Then we'll have the second point, which is minus 3 comma 54. Good. And that's that. About that, you are done. And then that question is quite easily done. Fantastic. So I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.